Now, if we take a look at the Skywalker saga, I think it's pretty safe to say that when we examine the Star Wars movies, by far the two mysterious characters has got to be Supreme Leader Snoke and Emperor Palpatine. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that J.J. Abrams was able to create a foundation of new Star Wars lore related to both the dark side of the Force and the light side of the Force, the Jedi, the Sith, you name it. It's one of the main reasons as to why we got to see the world of Exegol, the Sith Eternal, and Palpatine's resurrection, new Force powers, and stuff around those lines. Now, we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm are currently developing their new Star Wars universe. In case you guys did not know, this is going to be a big thing by Disney. This new EU, by the way, is said to be bigger, far larger than the old one that we saw and that we actually read through in the 90s and the early 2000s. Now, everything that Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to do also is that they're trying to please the Star Wars universe, alright? They're actually trying to please the Star Wars community, I should say, for this new universe. That's really going to go past the sequel trilogy and will also fill in the gaps in between the movies and some of the other canon lore that is already established by Disney and Lucasfilm. And that, to me, I think is the most interesting aspect of exactly what's going to go on with the future here for the Star Wars franchise and how it's all really going to fit together. Now, what's really intriguing on top of all of this, now that Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is out in theaters and a thing of the past, both Disney and Lucasfilm are looking to the future of the franchise with their new Star Wars universe that is going to create an endless amount of Star Wars stories that are currently being created. It's noted that one of the big plans by Disney and Lucasfilm is to make a universe that will be bigger and more expansive than the old EU from the 90s and the early 2000s. One of the new stories that are currently being created is actually said to be one that will center on the character of Snoke and his origins before he was cloned by Palpatine and his connection to Anakin Skywalker. Now, it's noted that this upcoming comic is set to establish that both Snoke and Anakin at one point in time connected inside of a dark temple located over in the Outer Rim that Anakin traveled to sometime during the events of the Clone Wars. It's explained that this dark temple once belonged to an ancient Sith Lord during the Old Republic era that Anakin discovered when trying to locate and understand Sith lore as much as possible. However, it was Snoke that led Anakin to this destination by masking himself as a Jedi located over in the Outer Rim. The upcoming story is set to explain exactly how Snoke knows so much about Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, and how it was also Snoke that created dark side tendencies within Anakin Skywalker before Palpatine did. This dark temple, of course, is actually said to be based on an original idea by creator George Lucas from the 1990s that was abandoned that will be used in the upcoming comic series that will explore the connection between Anakin and Snoke and how Snoke was able to pull Anakin to the Dark Temple in the Outer Rim that was used as a way to initiate his dark side ways. So, the thing that really stands out to me here the most is the fact that they will be using some of George Lucas's original ideas and concepts, such as this abandoned, dark temple located over in the Outer Rim that's going to hold a connection between both Anakin Skywalker and Supreme Leader Snoke. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but this new Star Wars universe, it is going to be far larger than the one that we got in the 90s and the 2000s. Just in the first 5 years of this decade alone. What they're trying to do is that they're really trying to expand the universe to their maximum. They really want to make Star Wars as best as it can be, as the best way that they can connect these characters to one another in order to tell very unique and original stories. To me, I find this to be very interesting because there's still a big mystery to Snoke. Yes, Palpatine states in The Rise of Skywalker to Kylo Ren, my boy, I made Snoke. That doesn't necessarily mean that he made the original Snoke per se. So from what it seems is that this is the original Snoke creature, perhaps before he was even named Snoke. That's a big possibility. But nonetheless, this is the Snoke creature that is actually connecting with Anakin Skywalker and luring him over to this dark temple located over in the Outer Rim. Now, the thing that really gets me about this is the fact that this dark temple location over in the Outer Rim is actually what creates the dark side tendencies within Anakin Skywalker, and that there was indeed a rivalry between both Palpatine and Snoke. This also connects to some of the other books that were released a couple of years ago, like the Aftermath books, that actually goes over Palpatine feeling a dark presence over in the unknown regions. And to me, it really sounds like what they're trying to do is that they're trying to set up the rivalry between both Snoke and Palpatine, and how they both wanted Anakin Skywalker to become a new Sith of some kind, or a new dark side user from what it seems. So, like I say, very interesting lore that is to come in the near future. A lot of these comics and these stories are set to be released later this year, into 2021, where a majority of the new Star Wars universe is going to launch. I cannot wait for this, cannot wait to read more about it and tell you guys more about it. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.